There is a very important person in the room, and this is a person who's been with PDA since, since the very beginning. She's been on our founding advisory board since the word go, and as many people know, if you're on an advisory board, it doesn't mean you necessarily you're giving advice or you're active, but that can't be said about Representative Lee. She's been very active, very much a stalwart friend and ally, particularly when PDA was just starting out. And here it is, fast forward a few years, and here we are having a monthly meeting here in the hall. It used to be when we come to the Hill, Tim, would have to really knock hard on some of these doors to get attention. Like Tim needs to work hard to get attention, but certainly didn't have to work hard to get Barbara Lee's attention, primarily because what she's been doing throughout her entire career is very much in agreement with what we're doing. So we're very lucky to have an ally and a real true activist to be part of our movement, and we will give you as much time as you need to talk to the rest of us here. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you so much. Let me say how good it is to see everyone. This place can be kind of interesting, but you're here, the voice of the people. And I just want to, is Tim? Hi, Tim.
Right in the box. He's
Tim,
there. He's watching.
We miss you, Tim, but it was good seeing you 2 weeks ago. And yes, I was with Tim and several of you here in Roxbury on that very important day. And from then forward, I felt like we had an inside-outside, real progressive strategy. And I remember the first meeting. Now, it didn't take too much for Tim to break in and for PDA to break it in up here on the Hill. I can remember the very first meeting. Tim and I went to see Speaker Pelosi. And it was really an interesting, very important, historical meeting. And as a progressive, she got it right away. And so now we have really a progressive caucus of 75, 80 members, the largest caucus still here in the House, and a very active caucus. And in large part, it's a result of PDA being so active in members' districts. And I always say that the progressive agenda really is mainstream America agenda. Oftentimes, and I come from Oakland and Berkeley, and oftentimes my friends, constituents, and colleagues say, we're an island unto ourselves. We're left of center. Do we really make a difference? And I have to remind them that the rest of the country has caught up with where progressives have been for many, many years, understanding that this is about equity, it's about justice, it's about peace. It's about providing for the American dream for all, and that's all we care about, and that's what you all are doing. And so I just have to congratulate you and thank you so much. We're at a defining moment here, I think, here on the Hill in terms of the budget, in terms of sequester, in terms of global peace and security issues, and I'll just narrow in on what's happening to low income, the working poor, and the poor of our country. We see now the Farm Bill, SNAP cuts. First, they bifurcated it and took out the farm subsidy piece, $60 billion, right, going to crop insurance, and separated that from the nutrition section. Of course, we didn't support that, but they have the numbers, so they got it passed. So then they come back with a $40 billion cut to the SNAP program. The Senate, I believe, had about, $4 billion. And so now we have a conference committee. Thank God we have Congressman McGovern, member of the Progressive Caucus, co-chair of the Hunger Caucus, as well as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Congresswoman Marcia Fudge, and we have Senator Debbie Stabenow. So they're really, and I was on a call with them last week, Rosa DeLauro, myself, McGovern, Fudge, and Senator Stabenow, to try to develop our strategy, because we have said over here, no more cuts, period, ... Conyers and I are leading, where, has he been here? Our chairman still, John Conyers, the effort to try to extend SNAP benefits we have a bill to extend it for 1 year and one to extend it for 3 years. That has nothing to do with the cuts that are taking place. This has to do with the Recovery Act, where now, as of November 1st, families are seeing a cut of about $39, I think it's $39 a month for a family of 4. That was an automatic cut as a result of what we put into the stimulus bill, because we knew that people were having a hard time during this recession, and so they needed to have this bridge over troubled waters. And I always remind people, as much as I don't like to talk about it, I was on food stamps and public assistance for many years. Didn't want to be, and most people want a job and they want to take care of their families. But you know, people go through some difficult times, and they expect their government to be there for them. And if we're not, I say it's un-American. You know, our values are such that we believe that we support the common good. The food stamp program is one of the programs with the least amount of fraud in it. You know, now they're talking about well, let me finish with the automatic cut. So anyway, so that took place as of November 1st. So we're trying to figure out how to restore those automatic cuts, and John Conyers and I have this bill to extend it. But secondly, on the $40 billion now that's pending and the $4 billion in the Senate, you have these very onerous work requirements that would change the total policy. It's not only the cuts, it's the policy that's being changed. I mean, can you imagine putting work requirements on people who need SNAP benefits when there are no jobs? You know, when the unemployment rate is still especially in communities of color, over 12%, when people who are working, it's a large percentage of people who are working, low-wage workers, are on SNAP benefits already. So what are they talking about? No funding in job training, workforce training. They won't allow us to bring up any of the president's legislation nor our legislation on job creation, yet they're putting these job requirements on SNAP recipients. It's wrong and it's crazy, and it's economically stupid. For every $1 in SNAP benefit, the economy sees $1.70, I think, in return. So if you only see it from an economic point of view, it is stupid, and it doesn't make any sense. It's mean-spirited. You know, I think what we're seeing, and we saw this during the shutdown and during the debt ceiling debate, is we have 40, 50 members who came here not to be public servants necessarily. They came here as anti-government representatives, and they want to dismantle everything. They want a free-for-all. They want Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare gone. That's their ultimate. And so they're chipping away at what government support is left. And God knows we have very little left already as a result of sequester. Next thing we got to remember is that in this budget, we've got to renew unemployment compensation. I think it's 1 million people. At least 1 million people are going to be without unemployment compensation at the end of December. Now you couple that with the cuts in SNAP, cuts in Head Start, Meals on Wheels, Section 8, no investment in jobs. I mean, you've got a country you almost don't even recognize. So PDA has a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, and I always say it's about organizing. We got to look toward next November, and we have to really figure out an inside-outside strategy to help us, you know, do the political work that we need to do to get back to an agenda that recognizes that the majority of the American people deserve to live the American dream, just like the 1%. So I'll stop there now and just say thank you again. It's really good to see everyone here, but we know you got our backs, even though sometimes we feel like up here we're swimming upstream, which we really are, but as long as PDA is there, I love your alerts, your organizing tools, your messaging. You know, you guys are just on it, and you've helped me in so many ways get so many of my bills to the floor, or at least to a hearing, and for that we are deeply grateful. Thank you again.
As Tim would say, teamwork. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.